Okay, so I just landed home, got a little hydrated after going to the gym and then straight to the grocery store. It's like 93 degrees out today, and my black rig, after sitting in the sun, measured 103 or 4 inside, so it is definitely a whopper of heat today. So I feel like it kind of slowed some of me down. But now that I'm in the AC, I'll pick back up again. So let me show you what I got at the grocery store. Keep in mind that some of this food is for my hubby, Matt. I try to stay a single ingredient as much as possible, but I do live close to the 80-20 rule. Single ingredient meaning most of the foods that I'm going to eat, even if they're in combination, don't come from a package. So... But that being said, sometimes we have to be able to eat grab and go foods too. So let me show you. All right, little snack packs for Matt for the win. He has been way more active and working on his metabolic health. Hempler's bacon. I always have 4 or 5 of these packages in our freezer, and I went through a couple in the last week or so. We eat quite a bit of it. I like that it's uncured, no nitrates, humanely raised. From what I could find, they take pretty good care of their animals. And then some fried pork rinds. Sometimes I just really want something crunchy. Lots of eggs. We go through, we eat hard-boiled eggs, cloud bread, scrambled eggs, eggs for breakfast, eggs for dinner. They're kind of a staple. Chomps. These are grab and go. Really helpful when we just don't have time and we need to grab a snack and it's been a while. I like to keep them in the van. My gym bag, my shift bag, my ranch bag, backpacks for riding, all kind of random, but I had it on my list to pick up at Trader Joe's, and Costco had everything but the bagel seasoning, so picked it up there. We always have a couple of these on hand. Sardines are great. I'm more and more in favor of fresh fish and fresh caught, of course, wild caught, then taking a supplement for omegas, because the omegas can get oxidized. So there's a lot of people pushing that we take omegas, but I have some other thoughts about that. And I do have a company that I like for omegas, but it's actually not fish oil. So maybe talk about that some other time. And then pickles. We always have pickles, so we can have tuna or just the crunch and the dill. Usually I like to get Bubbies, but they were out, so I chose this brand. Never tried it before. We'll see how it goes. So the veggie table. Oh, and I got some socks. They're like 80% cotton, and I have been wearing the same athletic socks since I was like 20, so I thought it was time for some new ones, and it was a great deal. $7 at Costco, and all those colors. I love the colors. Okay, these are low glycemic. Summer squash. Good for eggs and egg bakes and frying up and barbecuing. Tomatoes. Low glycemic, less than 30 on the index. Get those pretty regularly. Some people have issues with nightshade stuff, and tomatoes are nightshades, so keep that in mind. Strawberries, fresh strawberries, not so low on the glycemic index, but I'll pair them, and I'm excited to see what the monitor reads. Spring mix, low on the glycemic index. Love to get that every time. Avocados. Avocados do have carbohydrates in them, but they have plenty of healthy fats, so they actually are pretty low on the glycemic index as well. Gonna use these lettuce heads for wraps. I do have almond flour tortillas from Siete in the freezer, and I think I'll try those with the monitor at some point in time, but typically if I can, I'll try to use lettuce to wrap food like tuna salad or chicken salad or hamburger or tacos, like make a great wrap. And then bell peppers, those are low glycemic. You can cut them up and use them as chips, or you can make them as nachos. You can do dips with them, all kinds of good stuff. And then we do get Simple Mills crackers, so this is one of the packaged foods I get. I bet it's higher glycemic. We'll see. I'm going to check it on the monitor when I'm ready to eat them. Doing pretty good today, so we'll see. We'll see when I'm ready for a spike. And then some trash bags and a pickleball set came from Amazon. That's pretty exciting. And then I'll take you to the dairy corner. So I personally don't do a ton of dairy except for manchego cheese. And I slowed down on it because I don't know, some cheese, the rennet they use and the different kinds of, not fermenters, but things that they make them grow with, can have toxins in them. They can use aluminum in them. But honestly, it's one of the things that, like, if I'm really hungry and I can't get satiated, Manchego cheese does it for me. And it's aged greater than like 90 days. So if you have a lactose issue, a lot of times the goat cheese pairing with the aging process helps take the lactase down. Cottage cheese is mainly for Matt. Occasionally I have a few bites. This brand, it's really hard to find cottage cheese that doesn't have like fillers and gums and gooms and things, but this one didn't, and it's one of the only ones I can find in the area at the stores that we shop at, so I was pretty stoked to get that today. Always get a thing of grass-fed butter. And the purchase I'm most excited about. So this is organic whipping cream. It's non-homogenized. Love that. Don't buy things that are homogenized. That means the fat has been messed with and doesn't absorb very well and can cause gut inflammation. Low temp pasteurization, meaning that it's not ultra pasteurized. I'm okay with that. I am not anti a certain amount of pasteurization. It's just how much. But these are typically $9.99 at Sprouts, and today is their due date, sell by date, and they were $1.99 each. So I got all of them, and I'm gonna freeze them because it's ice cream season and blueberry season, and I love organic whipping cream. So we'll see how long those last. And then lactose-free milk. This is for Matt. It's definitely ultra pasteurized and it might be homogenized, but it's lactose-free and organic, so we're moving in the right direction. On dairy, a lot of people are going raw. That's fine. I'm okay with it being light pasteurized. The thing is, in the place where I live, the state that I live, is that raw is illegal and co-ops are illegal. Like, you can't even buy it. You can buy it for your pets. I saw raw kefir in the store for pets. But honestly, they have really shut down. Like, I have to drive hours to go get raw dairy, raw cream, or I have to pay a lot of money. And I'm just not interested. I think I can do more with my metabolic health and keeping my inflammation low and limiting excessive dairy in my diet and using the Kelowna, what is it called? Supernatural Kelowna, the organic whipping cream, and just doing grass-fed butter. I also got ghee at Costco last time I was there. So I don't rely super heavily on dairy to diversify my microbiome. You can, but I don't think that it's uberly necessary. That's one of the reasons that I like to share about metabolic health and blood sugar balancing, is that there are many ways to approach how to balance your blood sugar and how to become more insulin sensitive, so that then the other systems in your body are more regulated and responding, including your thyroid, including your hormones, your whole endocrine system, including your neurotransmitters. The whole idea of metabolic health is when we can have metabolic flexibility, that's an indicator that we are able to release our signalers when appropriate, turn them off when appropriate. And when we can do that, that means that other functions in the body are also happening. So like, it's kind of 80% of health anyways. So then if you get to that point where you're 80 to 90% healthy, then you can start micro adjusting how you see fit. The other thing that I would share is I don't think everything has to be organic either. Oh, I didn't show you a ton of protein, but that's because we buy a grass-fed beef once a year and stock our freezer. So a lot of our protein comes from that. And I do buy fish occasionally and the pork, but not everything has to be organic. I try, if I can, to cost effectively go organic, especially on thin-skinned foods. And the berries tend to be really covered with shelf stabilizers and pesticides and herbicides. I do buy a lot of my fruit frozen, because if you can freeze it, then they don't have to spray it so that it can be shelf stable. So sometimes that is a way to eliminate or mitigate toxins. But like my avocados, they're not organic. Anything thick-skinned, I don't buy organic. And I was thinking about this kind of in the last few days where, you know, I'm 40, and so far I've been extremely healthy except for the injuries that I've caused myself from crashing on my mountain bike. But I'm just sharing with you the best that I can understand how the body works and what I've seen as a nurse and what I've studied in nutrition, and understanding that inflammation has a frequency, and if that frequency is too high, then it blocks all the other functions. And when we can have that inflammation lowered by becoming more insulin sensitive so that insulin can do its job to regulate inflammation, that's like super short story, of course, then we can change that frequency so things can get back in operation. And because I have seen it support me during times of stress and activity and play and work and mitigating other toxins, I've seen it change other people's lives, reverse symptoms, reverse reports of different kinds of signs. And just in the literature, it's showing to be effective. And after my mom got cancer and I did a bunch of research, like the metabolic approach to living a whole, healthy, long life is hands down the best thing that I could find or share or live out with you. So that's how I go grocery shopping, and that's pretty standard. And maybe I'll show you again next time I go, but let me know of any questions, and I hope you have a great day.